Welcome guys to another video here on the Man United Daily YouTube channel, and in this transfer talk video I'll be talking about two main players that are potentially coming in, as well as a player who is potentially departing the doors at Old Trafford. So the first one, I don't think it's no real surprise, it's going to be the Wesley Sneijder of this summer, it seems like, and it's Arturo Vidal. I'm sure a lot of you guys will be sick, and I'll probably give it a rest for a couple of videos now that I'm going to do this one last video for until a couple of days time, or whenever there is a significant update, not just wildly grab the stuff information from various outlets where they just basically try to gain as many viewers as they can. So this current situation is that Arturo Vidal is currently back in training with Juventus. He is reportedly a bit restless about the whole situation. He has although maintained that he is happy to stay with Juventus if the move doesn't materialize, but there is obviously contradicting reports from the media, English media standpoint. There has been no contact whatsoever with the club briefing the journalists that they are not interested in Vidal and that they are pursuing other targets. However, saying that, Mark Ogden of the Telegraph have been this week, been saying that although the club has briefed the British journalists that sort of information, he can't rule it out because there has been such strong and recurring noise from both the Italian and Chilean press that he suspects that something might be happening behind the scenes. So that would suggest that United are this summer keeping a lid on it and trying to pursue targets under the radar, and obviously that leads to a more private pursuit of people, and obviously we don't get any insight into that, but I think it's the better way to do it, and because it doesn't lead out into the public and create this sort of high expectation all the time. But obviously with the continual contradictions in the press on both on social media and actual publishing, it's gonna create a lot of unrest, and even the common United fan are beginning to get a bit exasperated with this whole situation. So Vidal, like I said, still back at Juventus now after the World Cup break. Juventus leave for the Asian tour, I think, on the 6th, so this weekend. And if a lot of Italian journalists on Twitter said that if he is on a plane to Asia on the August the 6th, then it's probably 90% sure that he'll probably stay with Juventus for the forthcoming season. So if there is any current deal that is about to happen with Arturo Vidal, it has to be done this week before he goes to the Asian tour, because both teams probably want to wrap up the deal, and so they can fully focus on the coming season on their domestic league. So it's a bit of a tough situation, but that's probably the most significant week in this transfer saga, and if it isn't done by the end of this week, early next week, then you basically can pretty be sure that we probably won't be having Arturo Vidal. I think it will be a shame because we all know about his talents. Obviously in the World Cup he just came back from a knee surgery, and that obviously stunted his performance levels in the World Cup. So Vidal still a fantastic player, 27 years of age, so definitely a linchpin and mainstay if he was to come into United team. Obviously he has the pick of the great numbers of the squad if he was to come, so it'll be interesting to see what happens and what develops this coming week. But again, this is probably the defining week in this saga. I'm just getting a bit tired of reading the same stories all the time. I just want it to be settled one way or another. Obviously if it was coming to United's favour, I think we'll all be delighted, but just if it just came up to an end this week, then it will be settle us down and just targets and move on to other things. So that's the latest on Arturo Vidal. It seems that this will be the defining week for any potential deal. So what do you guys make of the latest on Arturo Vidal? Comment below and I'll try to get back to you on that one. The next one shouldn't be a surprise either, and it's Kevin Strootman on Twitter again. As soon as Louis van Gaal took over, I said tweeted that if he had his way and that every player in the whole world was fit, Kevin Strootman would be the very, very top of his list. Because if you read any interview, any video interviews that Louis van Gaal has done regarding the Dutch national squad, the three players that he mentioned, or the most critical to his philosophy, is Roy van Persie, Arjen Robben, and Kevin Strootman. So that highlights an emphasis he put on Strootman, because he brings the balance to the midfield. If you're going to play 4-3-3, you need that sort of player who stays in midfield and allows the creative players to get forward while maintaining a solid defence at the back. So Kevin Strootman, obviously a very, very important player in Louis van Gaal's eyes. He probably knows everything about him from his time as the national manager of the Dutch. So Kevin Strootman, this week's been touted around £79 million, because the Roma manager Rudy Garcia said that they would only be talking about when they have a three figures fee in euros. So obviously it's just all talk. I mean, Kevin Strootman, I think it's very, very unlikely that he will be moving this summer anyway, because as you guys know, in March he did obtain a cruciate ligament damage in his knee, and that thus ruled him out of the World Cup, and that initiated the plans for Louis van Gaal to implement the 3-5-2 system that we all saw at the World Cup. So Kevin Strootman, would be a fantastic addition, but like I said, that really serious knee injury probably ruled out any potential deals this summer. But I can definitely see it happening in January, because Strootman, he's a fantastic player, like I said, but he also has fantastic leadership qualities. Great age, 24 years old, so same boat as Ander Herrera, and obviously someone who Louis van Gaal can trust. And if you look at that, it becomes a very more kind of like a better frame or spine of the team, where they are personnel who Louis van Gaal really trusts. With starting with David De Gea in the goal, we obviously lost a lot of stability in the back. So either Jones, Smalling, or Evans has to take the mantle up and become the next linchpin of that back three for the forthcoming season. If we sign Strootman, obviously another player that Van Gaal trusts a lot, and obviously Robin van Persie up top. So it's a lot of the pieces of the puzzle is there to be solved. But I think Louis van Gaal is obviously a very experienced manager, so he doesn't want to rush into any decisions regarding transfers, because he wants to look what he has. So so far the midfield's been doing alright. Darren Fletcher and Herrera, I thought, performed really, really well. Tom Cleary as well, getting a bit of his form back. And obviously, even with Shinji Kagawa starting and playing there in a lot of matches as the number 6 or number 8. So it's an interesting combination. Obviously, the loss of Michael Carrick has done a bit of harm to the possibilities in that central area. But if we were to acquire one of these top class players, then it will obviously improve our chances in finishing definitely in the top 4, but also challenging for the title. So it's an interesting time coming up for United. I think that the central area still needs improving, but obviously the addition of Herrera, that has taken a bit of the heat out of it. But like I said, if we are to maintain a decent title challenge and also compete for the domestic cups, we do need quality instead of quantity, which what we have right now, because we got a load of central midfield players, but I don't think none of them really stand out as one of those top class players as yet. But it's interesting to see how that runs out. And for the coming season, I don't think United are finished in the transfer market either, because if you just look around and listen to every journalist, even everyone at the club concerned, that at least one or two more key signing will be made, and we just have to wait and see how that develops. And the potential departure, like I talked about at the beginning of this video, is the potential departure of Marou Fellaini. Obviously, we all know Fellaini, a steward from from David Moyes' tenure, and he bought him from Everton for a ridiculous fee of £28 million. The reports been saying this week that a move to Napoli could be on the cards for Marou Fellaini, who obviously might be looking and reinvigorate his career under a new manager where he doesn't seem to fit anywhere in particular with Louis van Gaal. So I think it'll be a good move for all parties concerned, because another dimension, if you look at it, is if we sell Fellaini to Napoli, then Napoli basically will be funding a bit of United's pursuit of Vidal, if that pursuit is a real possibility anyway. So that was obviously weaken Juventus a little bit and making Napoli in more of a shout to compete in their Italian domestic league. So it's an interesting dimension, but I doubt any clubs will be that cynical enough to carry out that sort of move and think about what effects it would have on that sort of level. But it's an interesting combination. But Fellaini, I think we all were a bit disappointed with him last season, but I do think that I personally would give him another season to prove himself, because when he plays with Belgium, and obviously in his Everton days, completely different player from what we saw last season, where he was reduced to the assisting role, where he perhaps wasn't the most adaptable or have the ability to really carry out in a professional manner. So it's an interesting one to talk about, because like I said, Fellaini obviously on his day a very, very good player, and if we need an offensive midfielder, he could be the answer in the short term. I'm not saying he's the answer to the all be and end all, but he could solve that sort of physicality aspect of the central midfield that we lack. And now with Herrera in that central midfield to provide a creativity, that obviously takes a burden off Fellaini and could result in a fruitful partnership if it was to be seen. So it's an interesting one, but again, it's early stages and we have to see how this one develops. I just want to give a quick shout out to reddevilfans.com, which is a new forum site for United fans where you can discuss anything surrounding United, from transfer targets to the latest training kit. In order to join the website, all you have to do is go over there, sign up with an email address and a username of your choice, and then you can start having debates and discussion with other United fans. So again, to check them out, go over to reddevilfans.com. That wraps up another video here on the Man United Daily YouTube channel. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, comment below on any of the stories mentioned, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And also, if you want to keep to be updated with the latest videos, please subscribe to the channel for more content. You can check me out as well on Twitter at Man United Daily, or visit the website at manuniteddaily.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.